Good evening. I would like to call the November 4th, 2025 regular Planning Commission meeting to order. Please note this meeting is being hosted through live stream and on the city website by teleconference via Zoom. I want to remind the Planning Commissioners to have their microphones turned on in position so the audience can hear. Director Monique, may we have roll call, please? Or
Commissioner Worth,
Here.
Commissioner Viramontes,
here.
Commissioner Hill,
Here.
Commissioner Barahona is absent with notice. Chair Beamsterfer,
Here. Commissioner Work, could you lead us in invocation flag salutes, please?
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Agenda item 4 is the public comment period for items not on the agenda. Are there any members of the public present that would like to comment on an item not on the agenda?
Chair, if I may, before we move forward, we do need a motion and a second to excuse Commissioner Barahona's absence this evening.
Absolutely. Can we make a motion to excuse Commissioner Barahona from the meeting tonight?
So moved.
I'll second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Worth, second by Commissioner Hill. We'll do a roll call. Commissioner Worth.
Aye.
Commissioner Viramontes.
Yes.
Commissioner Hill.
Aye.
Chair Beamsterfer.
Yes.
That motion passes 4-0 to excuse Commissioner Barahona's absence.
All right.
Thank you.
Item 4A is public comment periods for not on the agenda. Are there any members present that would like to make a comment or e-comment received?
No e-comments were received.
Okay. We'll move on to the approval of the minutes. Agenda item 5A is the approval of the minutes from the meeting from October 7, 2025. Does the commission have any comments or corrections?
No comments.
Can I entertain a motion?
I motion to approve the minutes of the Planning Commission meeting of October 7th, 2025.
I second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Viramontes, second by Commissioner Hill. We'll do a roll call. Commissioner Worth.
Aye.
Commissioner Viramontes.
Yes.
Commissioner Hill.
I was not here for that meeting. I abstain.
Chair Beamsterfer.
Yes.
That motion passes 3-0-0-1 with an abstain from Commissioner Hill.
Can I interject here to the city clerk? It was not Commissioner Hill who seconded that motion.
Oh, I apologize. I'm so sorry. I will make that correction to the
We'll
minute.
keep an eye on that.
Motion by Commissioner Viramontes, second by Chair Beamsterfer, just for a point of clarification.
Okay, next we have agenda item 6A to receive and file the commercial cannabis business permit updates. Are there any comments from the staff? I see we have staff here, so we will go ahead and see what the presentation is.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Commissioners. Sorry about that. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, members of the public out this evening. Emery Papp, Deputy Director of Community Development, reporting for staff. This evening, I want to give you a brief overview of where we are with the commercial cannabis business permit process. Is this better? Okay. Sorry, I never lean into it far enough. So, for starters, I'll give you a brief history of the project. On May 28th, 2024, the City Council adopted ordinance number, wrong page. Can't read it from here.
2033.
Number 2033, thank you. Authorizing cannabis retail sales. On July 9th, 2024, the City Council adopted ordinance number 2036, which reduced the dispensary separation from 1,000 feet to 600 feet. On August 12th, 2024, City Council adopted Hemet Rises, which is an economic strategy for the benefit of the city of Hemet. A portion of this document included guidance language to support the growth of the cannabis industry to diversify the city's economic base. On January 28th of 2025, the City Council adopted ordinance number 2054, which refined cannabis business regulations, including the requirement for annual renewal. On March 17th, 2025, the City of Hemet opened a lottery process to determine the number of qualifying applicants for dispensaries. On April 1st, that lottery process concluded. It turned out that with commercial cannabis business permits, the ratio allowed would be a maximum of one dispensary for each 17,500 residents, meaning that at the present time, a total of 5 cannabis permits could be issued. A total of 6 commercial cannabis business applications were received or submitted during the process. 5 of those applications were for existing buildings in the city, and 1 was for a vacant site. Because there was a lottery process, the applicant who owned the vacant site volunteered to be placed on a waiting list so the other 5 participants could move forward in the lottery. And on August 12th, 2025, the City Council passed resolution number 2025-132, establishing a wait list protocol. Since there was no lottery needed any longer, all of the 5 qualifying applications were reviewed by HDL, which is a third-party consultant who specializes in cannabis compliance. As a result of that vetting process, 5 applications were presented at the Community Development Director Review held on September 17th of this year, which recommended that all 5 of the commercial cannabis business permits be issued and approved by the city manager. On October 23rd of this year, the city manager signed all 5 of those commercial cannabis business permit certificates, allowing them to apply for building permits in the plan check process, which all of those applicants have done. They have applied for and paid for their building permit and plan check review process. So I apologize, I didn't keep up with my slides for you. So these are the 5 locations that were selected. Budology at 172 North San Jacinto Avenue. Blazed Utopia, which would be located at 2050 East Florida Avenue. Another Blazed Utopia location to be located at 1958 West Florida Avenue. A Stizzy location to be located at 1101 West Florida Avenue. And finally, an Off the Charts location, which would be located at 214 East Stetson Avenue, adjacent to the Stater Brothers supermarket. All of these applications were evaluated under the following criteria. HDL took a look at their business plan, their labor and local enterprise plan, their neighborhood compatibility plan, their safety plan, security plan, the general location, and the community investments plan, benefits and investment plan, sorry. HDL determined that all of the applications met the satisfactorily met all of the requirements for submission of their applications. So here's a map demonstrating the location of where all the dispensaries would be located. The Hemet Municipal Code allows for the Community Development Director to make a determination regarding the status of the staff of the applications. This was heard on September 17th. In order to support the commercial cannabis business applications, all of the following findings are required to be met. These are listed here. I'm not going to read them in any great detail. I would like to mention a few requirements. That none of the dispensaries be closer than 600 feet to one another, that the locations each be at least 500 feet away from a K through 12 school, a licensed commercial daycare facility, or a youth center that was in existence at the time the application was submitted. In the future, if a dispensary opens, a youth center could locate within 500 feet of the dispensary, but a dispensary cannot locate within 500 feet of that use. Some of the other findings would be that The business is designed in such a manner that it minimizes odor on surrounding uses, that they incorporate all the commercial development standards for commercial development adjacent to residential uses, which would include separation fences, typically block walls that are 6 feet high, that they be served by highways and streets with adequate width to provide service for the amount of traffic that they would carry, and that they be provided with adequate utilities. Staff reviewed all of the projects in terms of the California Environmental Quality Act and determined that each of the locations qualified for a Class 1A existing facility, Section 15301, categorical exemption from CEQA. So all of the applicants have now applied for their building permits for their tenant improvements, and they are currently in the building permit plan check process. It's staff's recommendation that the Planning Commission receive and file the information that's been presented to you this evening via my presentation and the paperwork you have in front of you. And if you have any clarifying questions, I'd be happy to answer those at this time. This concludes my
Thank you.
presentation.
Thank you for that presentation, Deputy Director Papp. Does the commission have any questions for Deputy Director?
I have one.
Go ahead.
Mr. Papp, doesn't Budology already have a cannabis operation going?
They do. Their location is currently in the city of San Jacinto.
Oh, it's in San Jacinto.
Correct.
Okay. So this would be a second location for them?
In the valley, yes.
Okay, thank you.
The reduction of the proximity, was it from 1,000 feet to 500 feet or something?
From 1,000 feet to 600 feet.
to 600? And that's just to cannabis retail businesses, and then the 500 is for like a school or a youth center?
That is correct.
Is that the same as like for a liquor store, or is that the same offset, the same distance?
No, ABC has separate regulations for alcohol stores, and the State of California Department of Cannabis Control has separation criteria for dispensaries. And per the advice of one of our other assistant city attorneys, Jennifer Mizrahi, they're considered separate locations if they have separate addresses, and the units are completely separated from one another without any interconnection between the demising walls. So they are, in fact, two separate buildings. They just happen to be adjacent to one another.
But is the distance, is the requirement, the 500 feet, is that the same for ABC as for cannabis, or is it
ABC does not have a separation requirement.
to schools and things? I thought I thought that was one of the criteria for a Class 21 license.
Well, we're getting a little outside of the boundary of the discussion today. We were talking about the cannabis business.
No, I understand. The question is just in terms of why the reduction of the proximity, and how this, is there consistency in this type of a business separation from a school site as alcohol separation from a school site? So I was just wondering what the difference is between ABC and cannabis, because 500 feet doesn't seem very far.
I can't speak factually to why the city council selected the 600-foot separation as opposed to the 1,000 feet. It is on public record. That was decided some time ago. I forget the exact date of that city council meeting.
Commissioner Worth, also, what we did is that we had a full analysis of zoning and proximity if we did the radius with 1,000-foot radius versus the reduced radius. And what was determined is that all of the properties on the Florida Avenue corridor, which is our commercial corridor, none of them would qualify because of all of the residential that surrounds the commercial corridor of Florida. And as well as looking at other potential, such as churches, and the council did consider that, and that was part of the nexus or the reasoning for the reduced separation requirement.
Okay, so I'm a little unclear, because the 600 feet is from other cannabis. Is that what, that's what was reduced, or is the 500 feet from schools and,
The reduction was from residential zones, from residential land uses. They did make some reductions. They had to make some adjustments.
I think they're just referring to just from cannabis store to cannabis store.
Yes. So
right, well, that's what I'm trying to understand, because it's
They-
600 is the reduction, but then did the council
But it's
approve a
not including like
reduction?
churches and schools or
'Cause that's
sensitive
500 feet.
receptors.
Because that one's 500 feet, right?
Correct, so it's a different
Right.
metric. So from one dispensary to another dispensary, it must be a minimum of 600 foot,
Yeah.
600 feet of separation along a path of travel. And then for any of the other sensitive uses, which would be schools, daycare facilities, or residential uses, must be 500 feet.
And it was the 600 feet that was reduced by city council? Or
Correct.
was it the?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is the 500 feet the same as it is ABC for the ABC requirements for the class 21?
Yes, I
license?
believe it is. We've had applications
that was what
before
I
you
was
for
trying to-
alcohol permits. So yes, there was a 500-foot separation.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry for going round and round. I was just trying to see if there was, see the consistency between, because oftentimes when an ABC license comes up in front of the commission, there's a lot of discussion on concentration and everything else. And we're just at the very beginning stages of starting this whole new industry. It's likely to get in the same sort of discussions when other people want to come in and start businesses. So just if that there's a consistency with the way we deal with alcohol, that was what I was trying to flesh out. So thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Are these businesses currently operational?
No, they are not. So they've been reviewed, vetted. The use itself has been approved by the city manager for these locations. They are currently actively in building permit plan check. So we're checking their documents to make sure that everything is up to code as far as the building code is concerned, and that they've implemented their security plans for cameras. They've implemented their odor control plans. All of that has to be done and then inspected and make sure that it's correct and proper per plan, and that it's effective, and that, for example, the police department cameras, the police department has to be able to access those remotely and check those internet protocols to make sure that they're active and working before they can get their certificate of occupancy to begin business.
They were, though, open at one point, right? Because you
None of
drive
them.
down 74 and you just see all these billboards. There's like 5 of them.
The billboards, I believe, are referencing locations currently outside of the city limits.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Thank you.
It just basically is for receive and file, but it's more of a statement than anything. Number 6 that applied, and he decided to go on a waiting list. Why is he going on a waiting list when Utopia has 2 locations instead of giving him a chance?
The primary reason for it is the site is currently vacant, and the maximum number of applications that could be allowed would be 5 based on the current population and the formula established at one per each 17,500 residents. So having somebody who wouldn't be able to occupy their store until they got their entitlement approvals for a new building and then achieve occupancy, that could take quite some time. So they voluntarily pulled their application to be placed on a waiting list, and the city council agreed and adopted a protocol for a waiting list, and that applicant is currently on the waiting list.
I was here for that hearing, and the only thing that just really kind of got under my skin a little bit was the question of, for the cannabis business, as to what they would get back to the community in a way. And one of the answers from the one that has 2 locations is basically said our taxes, and kind of chuckled a little bit. And I just think if we gave, everything's done, we can't change anything, but if we would have given more than 30 days for application period, we would have gotten more outsiders coming in to actually do good things for the community and community engagements and parades and donations and things like that I don't think we're gonna see from this organization. But anyways, that's it. Everything received and filed going.
I got
Chair-
one more
Chair-
question.
Oh, I'm
Go ahead.
sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, how does the cannabis delivery work, like permit-wise? Is that different than a storefront? Because if you go on, there's a popular app called Weed Maps. If you go on there, there's delivery services. There's 10 of them. that all say Hemet?
That one's a little complicated because the city of Hemet cannot regulate delivery if the delivery originates from a bona fide commercial storefront, brick and mortar dispensary located in another jurisdiction. So if they are licensed,
Mm-hmm.
they are allowed to deliver as far as their drivers are willing to go to provide product to those who have ordered it online.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you.
And Chair, I wanted to mention that a condition of approval for the commercial cannabis permit is that each business owner must complete a community benefits agreement, and they must execute that with the city, that it includes those additional funds that was mentioned for nonprofit and civic organization activities in the community.
All right. Any other questions or receive and file?
Yeah, just one quick one. If there's so it's limited to 1 per 17,500. Is the idea for the one waiting list that they're waiting until our city grows or until someone goes out of business? I know that's speculative, but it's interesting how you would give up one of the 5 sweet spots.
Sure. Based on the current way that the ordinance is written, the way what is stated is it would require the population, currently, would require the population to hit 105,000 in order to open another dispensary.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
We're currently at about 95,000, I believe.
Receive and file?
Receive and file.
Receive and file.
Somebody like to make a recommendation, receive and file presentation and the attachments? Or I can say that probably. Okay. We received and filed.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Deputy Director. Okay. We are going to move on to item 7A, conditional use permit. And we're going to have staff come and present that for us. Where's the chair?
Good evening. Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission. Jordan Walton, Associate Planner with the Community Development Department, here to present to you conditional use permit modification 25-001 for McDonald's. The applicant for this is McDonald's USA with Beta MCD Hemet LLC as the applicant, or the property owner, excuse me. And the property is located at the south of the southeast corner of South Sanderson Avenue and Stetson Avenue. And the original approval for this conditional use permit was under conditional use permit, site development review, and a tentative parcel map for a gas station, a car wash, and of course the drive-through restaurant, which is what we're discussing tonight. And the request is for the modification to the drive-through restaurant as that was previously approved as a drive-through restaurant for a on-the-go McDonald's concept. This concept will reduce the building size and add an additional drive-through from 1 to 2. Pursuant to Hemet Municipal Code Section 90-42.9, only the approving authority shall approve modifications or revisions to the approved application, and only after the hearings required in the chapter. So in this case, since the Planning Commission approved the original project on July 20, 2021, it must come before you again for a modification. And this aligns with goal 1 of our Hemet strategic plan integration, quality of life. And then here is a aerial view of the subject property. It is located at the south of the southeast corner of South Sanderson Avenue and Stetson Avenue. And here is the zoning of the subject property. It is zoned M1 limited manufacturing, which does allow for drive-through restaurants with the subject to a conditional use permit. And then here is the land use designation as identified in our general plan. It is designated business park. And here is a site map of the original approval. Again, it was for a 12 bay gas station, a 4,088 square foot convenience store with a type 20 alcoholic beverage control license, and a for the off sale of beer and wine, a 2,660 square foot drive-through restaurant, and 3,590 square foot car wash with 21 self-serve vacuum stations under a 3,096 square foot canopy. And the new proposal will reduce the building size from 2,660 square feet to 1,978 square feet, and increasing the number of the drive-through lanes from 1 to 2 to accommodate the on-the-go drive-through restaurant. The on-the-go restaurant will service customers at the drive-through and the customer pickup window. The building will not be available to the public. Customers must order using their McDonald's mobile app, or they must use third-party ordering services like DoorDash or Uber Eats to be able to receive their order. There is a available window located outside the building for customers to come and pick up their order, but they will not be allowed inside the building to pick up their order. And then here is the floor plan for the subject property. It identifies areas for the kitchen, the managerial area, and as well as the crew floor area and a bathroom. Again, this area will not be available to the public. And then here is the elevations for the subject property. If you were to look at the one on the bottom right, you can see that they have identified the window for customers to be able to come pick up their orders, their mobile orders that they made on their third-party apps or the McDonald's app directly. And then here is a landscaping plan that they have provided that is in compliance with our municipal code for landscaping. And then here is a site-by-site comparison to the proposal. Particularly with the reduction of the drive-through restaurant, it allows for a additional drive-through lane proposed that will be integrated into one drive-through as they get closer to the pickup window. A queuing analysis was submitted for the project, which evaluated the site based off of 24-foot lane for each vehicle, which based off of their queuing analysis is in compliance with our municipal code section, as based off of those measurements they would allow for 10 vehicles to be queued. The site plan does, however, identify 12, as the site plan identifies the number of vehicles at a rate less than the 21 square feet, so more vehicles are able to be in the queuing analysis depending on the size and shape of each vehicle. And then here are the findings for the conditional use permit. Conditional use permit modification must be in compliance with the municipal code section concerning the CUP. And after staff review, the proposal was determined to be in substantial conformance to the original CUP, as it is just for the reduction in size and the additional drive-through lane. And then for the CEQA analysis, an environmental impact report was processed and certified for the project in accordance with CEQA guidelines identified in PC Resolution 2021-023 that was approved on July 20, 2021. Staff has deemed the proposed project to be consistent with the final EIR and pursuant with the CEQA guidelines under Section 16162, and no further analysis is required. And then the public notice for the project was posted on October 22nd, 2025. The city gave notice to the press enterprise and to surrounding property owners within a 500-foot radius. And no public comments have been received from staff at this time. So with that being said, it is respectfully recommended that the Planning Commission adopt Planning Commission resolution approving the conditional use permit modification 25-001, subject to the conditions of approval and development plans. I did have one thing to note for staff. The Community Development Director, Monique, provided a revisions to the conditions of approval, particular to 252, 280, and 292. There was additional correspondence with the applicant concerning Riverside Flood Control, as Riverside Flood Control provided conditions of approval to contact them for issuance, prior to issuance of an occupancy permit. There was a discussion about the trash enclosures. A trash enclosure must be provided within R500 B double. This will allow it to comply with municipal code standard sections, which include the double door, the iron bars around it, and the roof to prevent from illegal dumping. And then in 292 addresses fire sprinklers. Fire sprinklers will be required during the building plan check process if the occupant load exceeds 100, and they will be if that is found, they will be in. They would have to fire sprinkler the building. And there was one other item to the conditions of approval, particularly to the header. The conditions of approval cited a conditional use permit modification 25-002. And it identified on Planning Commission dates that was highlighted in red as CUP M 25-002 of CUP 19-004. We would like to note for the public record that it was actually for CUP M 25-001 of CUP 19-009. And one more change that was identified in the staff report identified that there would be a recommending that the Planning Commission adopt a notice of determination with the County of Riverside and the State of California. Since this project has been deemed in conformance with the final EIR that was approved for the conditional use permit, the site development review, and the tentative parcel map, it is not required to file an exemption for the county, as this project is consistent with the final EIR. And that concludes my presentation. I'm available to take any questions.
All right, thank you very much for that presentation. Does the commission have any questions or comments to staff?
Yeah, I got a couple. Is this the property? Is it one parcel? Or is it divided into three?
The parcel is 2 parcels.
Okay.
One is for the on-site parcel, and the other parcel identified in the staff report is for the right-of-way, which they are required to improve.
Gotcha. Okay.
John, you got any questions? No? No. Mr. Walton, thank you for that. So adding the second drive-through lane, is that encroaching on anybody else's area there? Is it the same footprint that it was before for the parcel that they are using?
It is a different footprint. I don't have the exact specifications to it. We made sure to note that it is on their property and that there is available path to travel throughout the center, as there's the gas station and convenience store to the north, and the car wash to the east of the property, and it's found in compliance with those requirements.
Okay. Can you go to that slide where it shows the before and the after? Yeah, right there.
Yes.
See the one on the left, previously approved?
Yes.
You see, is that the car wash, or what is that?
That's the car wash.
Yeah. I don't see the car wash in the one on the right, and that's why I'm asking this question.
Yes. If you don't mind, I can go to the proposed. Oh. Yes, so on this exhibit here, you can see on the
Commissioner Hill and Chair, the configuration is within the boundaries of the parcel that was approved.
And what
Yes.
it is?
Yes, it is. It is not
Okay.
encroaching into any drive aisles or other parcels or property.
Okay. So they're not gaining any additional property because of this?
Correct.
Gotcha, thank you. My other question is just a curiosity question, and that is, there's no menu there for people to drive up and order?
there is a menu if they were to drive up to the speaker and
Yeah.
order. So they would be able to go through a drive-through like any other McDonald's. However, for the if you were to, there's no on-site ordering system that they could do. They would have to go through the mobile app if they wanted to get out of their car and pick up their order.
Okay,
That's the difference.
all right, thank you.
Yep.
Just a couple clarification questions. One of them is the traffic study. Did the applicant agree to do the 90 to 3 months report if the traffic overflows continuously for, was it 3 months? I'm trying to make sure I understand that clause right.
I think the applicant is here this evening. If you
Yes.
want to-
Yes, we can defer that to the applicant.
Okay, and then the other one is on the CEQA, are we submitting this as a no new analysis report?
So no new analysis is required to be submitted to the state or the Riverside County. This is just a modification that was a part of a previously approved final EIR. This will be similar to other conditional use permits modifications that were brought to you before, where staff did not file the notice with the clerk as it was adopted, it was part of the original approval of the project.
So is there a way we can, in verbiage, because we are now adding a second drive-through, a 2-lane instead of a 1, and it being 24 hours, that should change the report a little bit if we're adding more traffic to it?
Chair Beamsturfer, the purpose of the why it's coming back to the Planning Commission is the Planning Commission was the original approval body. The findings required for modification is that it substantially conforms to the original intent of the project, in which it was it was a larger footprint. It was going to be a drive-through with dining area, even though it only had one drive aisle. In terms of intensity, it could be considered that. However, a traffic study was not required. A traffic study was required for the entire project when it came to the Planning Commission for the tentative track map, as well as the site plan layout, which was carefully reviewed by the Planning Commission. The queuing analysis that we received was peer reviewed by our traffic consultant, and based on that, we're with the condition of approval for as you mentioned, that we feel that it's sufficient, that the drive-through queuing, in addition to the on-the-go concept, that it would be sufficient for and substantially conform to the original intent of the project, which would not require reopening the environmental for the project. However, if you were to reopen it, then that would open up the entire EIR.
And it was originally 24 hours in the original
It was.
condition? Okay.
It's consistent with the 7-Eleven gas station. It's 24 hours.
I just want to make sure we're safe, because I just know it's a double drive-through and not a single now. So it is changing in a way and adding more cars and more traffic to the space. So, but any other questions?
Yeah, do we know?
Go ahead.
Do we know how far the location is from residents? I know it's directly south, and there's like a 20-foot wall, but do you know, like by feet as the crow flies, how far that is?
No, I do not know by feet how the crow flies. As you mentioned, staff believes that with the proposal that there's enough separation buffer between the residential and the commercial use We've also added a condition of approval for the noise as well, which states that the speaker for the drive-through has to be at a decibel rate lower than typically to not disturb the residents to the south. And
Yeah,
of course,
between like 10 and 6, right?
between
Okay,
10 and 6, and of course the 20-foot wall will add as an additional buffer.
Gotcha. Thank you.
We did do a measurement, though. I did want to mention that there was a measurement from the speaker to the residents to the south, and it's over at least 100 to 120 feet.
Okay.
So, just to kind of piggyback on Chair's line of questioning, so there was some discussion when the original EIR came through, and in regards to the traffic study, with this change being not a significant change to the original intent of the EIR, is the majority of the traffic that's produced by the entire site, the gas station and everything else, would it be safe to say that the 7-Eleven is more of the heavy traffic producer relative to the original traffic study, or does this unit affect the trips traveled that was included in that traffic study with the EIR, with the original EIR?
Yeah,
Does that question make sense?
Yeah, that's a great question. No, we don't believe that it would impact the original or the traffic analysis. Now, to recall what was the traffic analysis counts and which users would be the higher end on the traffic counts. That's a good question. However, the use of the drive-through or the use of the restaurant is actually being reduced in a sense that it's no longer going to be as intense in terms of square footage. It would be our opinion that it would not increase the traffic that was originally analyzed. I believe that the improvements at that intersection also have been, there have been intersection completion improvements such as raised medians to ensure that the development can negotiate those turns in and out of the shopping center. But yes, we don't believe that would affect the original traffic study.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's the point, is to make sure that we're good in a no new analysis determination based on this change, especially considering the environment when that original EIR went through. So, no further questions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. And with that, we're going to, any questions before I open up public hearing? Nope. Okay. With that, we're going to go ahead and open up public hearing and ask if the applicant would like to come to the podium, if anybody has questions for the applicant. And just to confirm, you agree with all the requirements from the city of Hemet?
Correct.
Can we get his name, please?
Yep. My name is Scott Wilkeson. I'm a construction manager with McDonald's. I'd like to first thank staff for doing that great presentation. I think they covered the project that we're excited about. And I'm sorry, what was your question?
If you just agreed with all the...
Oh, yeah. We've reviewed the conditions of approval and agree with everything that they said. Yeah.
Any questions for the applicant?
No, so this is the first one of these types of McDonald's in our valley, right? Where there's no dining facility?
Yeah, correct. So it's actually one of the first in the whole United States. So we opened one in December of last year in 2024 in the city of Bellflower. And we have another one that will probably start construction in the city of Norwalk, but it will be the third in California.
It just kind of at a high level without what's the benefit? What is this the direction fast food is going? Is there, why is the shift? Just out of curiosity.
So really from our standpoint, from McDonald's standpoint, it is to be able to build on sites like this. This is a smaller site, And McDonald's really wants to be here and finds a need for it. So we came up with this concept that actually allows us to serve the customer like a normal restaurant, which the majority of our business is through the drive-through. And then obviously, the future is, using the app and the mobile ordering. So those are the three main components, and that we're driving. The only thing is it doesn't have the lobby, any public spaces. But it's not, at least from McDonald's standpoint, I can't speak on other fast food, but it's not like we're going to be pushing, this is the direction we're going. It takes special approval to get it approved through our McDonald's committee, and still the traditional McDonald's is our bread and butter, and will be in the future.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. It's an interesting concept. I can understand it from every time I go with my daughter-in-law, it's all the food is always ready whenever we go someplace. I don't know how she does it, but it just is a new way of doing things, I suppose. So
Yeah, exactly.
I did not realize how much
Too,
stuff,
you know.
coffee, Chick-fil-A, all the other.
Yep.
All right. Any other questions for the applicant?
Yeah, I got a few questions here. Scott, thanks for choosing Hemet as one of these, for the new on the go. That's awesome. I think Hemet's in need of another one because I can only really think of two McDonald's, and on that side of the city, you only have the one inside of the Walmart. With that being said, there's a couple of questions that I have about the truck that's going to be delivering the food to the store. On page 23 of the staff report, I showed it to just a family member who is in trucking, and I was asking him how he would do it, and he said that, well, first off, you're going to have to double park basically on a double lane to unload, because I can't imagine that it's going to be on the west side. It's probably going to be on the south side where it's going to be double parked.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so you're going to be taking up a lane there. Then to get out, it looks like the drawing here, you have that truck going into the parking spaces of the car wash. Have you taken account for the overhead that car wash has for the clearance of that truck?
I don't know for sure. I know our engineer is here and could probably speak a little bit more on it.
Sure.
Yeah, I can't speak on the overhang and if that's been taken into consideration. But typically our deliveries are usually 2 to 3 times a week, and usually off peak hours, usually in the morning.
Okay.
To avoid that type of traffic.
Mm-hmm.
We send every site plan to our trucking company first, our delivery company, and vet it with them and get their feedback and make sure it works and make some modifications. But that's a good point about the car wash.
Yeah, because that
Yeah,
angle is tough.
It's existing.
Yeah.
I know we did modify the radius slightly. I don't know if it's to accommodate some of the trash trucks around that southeast bend.
Sure.
But I don't know if Hannah can speak on that.
Yeah, hi everyone.
Can we get your name first?
Yeah, Hannah Lovano with Kimley Horn. I'm a civil engineer. So Scott mentioned pretty much everything I was going to say. I think the only thing I would say and emphasize is that, like Scott said, we do send it to the trucking company for them to review, and they've got truckers that'll send back multiple rounds of comments to me and my team, make sure that we incorporate everything. And then the program that we use is highly conservative. So the lines that you see on the paper, they're conservative. So I
Gotcha.
imagine that the actual truck turn would be way more efficient than what you see on the paper.
Okay, yeah, because it is almost touching where the vacuums would be, and they're sloped at an angle. So I can imagine that angle only gets smaller the deeper you get in the parking spot.
Yeah, and those parking stalls that it's overhanging into are not vacuum stalls. They're
Oh, okay.
just standard stalls. So you wouldn't have any risk of hitting any of the vacuum stalls there.
Gotcha. Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you, Anna.
Mhm.
Now, another question. So, do you also work with the McDonald's on Florida, or are you familiar? Have you been
I
by
am
there?
familiar
Yeah.
with
Okay.
those. Yeah. there's the
Because
three of
they
them.
play music outside. I think it's to deter the homeless or something. Now, I'm worried about, so I drove by there just right now. That block wall's 20 foot tall. the resident's home that's right behind there, you could, I mean, it's clear, the second story is a clear shot, and there's a couple of windows there. Do they plan on playing music there as well?
Well, this site hasn't been awarded yet. The franchising department in McDonald's is in the final stages of awarding it, so I don't know if it's going to be the same franchisee yet.
Mm-hmm.
We typically leave that up to the franchisee to kind of do that. So, I mean, I don't know for sure.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay. And then I guess final question is more, I'm not sure if you can answer this, but it said future EV chargers. Do you know what kind? Are they going to be Tesla chargers, Electrify America chargers?
No, they're just universal.
Oh, okay.
Universal chargers. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Uh-huh.
Okay. All right. I think I'm good on questions.
Okay. Any other questions for the applicant? I don't have any questions. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Any other public comments or e-comments?
Chair, there are no other further comments.
All right, with that, we're going to go ahead and close public hearing. And any comments, questions? If not, entertain a motion. Comments, questions?
In our motion, do we need to include the amended conditions of approval?
As mentioned before, yes. So we
Yes.
just include the context
Okay.
as mentioned. Do you have the actual
If-
verbiage?
Would
or
you
we
like me
just
to
say-
read those into the record? Okay. So the amended conditions is condition number 252. The project is located, the condition is that the project is located within Riverside County Flood Control and Water Conservation District, Hemet Regional Area, and Salt Creek Channel. And that was South Hemet area, for which area drainage plan aided fees are payable to RCFC and WCD. So that is really the change to that condition, that the applicant has to pay for those fees. The change of condition number 280 in regards to the trash enclosures is that the trash enclosure city standard is the R500B double. However, the applicant shall provide, in this case, they may provide a refuse plan to demonstrate a single trash enclosure is sufficient. Otherwise, if the plan is not accepted, then a double trash enclosure would be required. So it would be up to the applicant to provide a suitable refuse plan to the city for review. The condition number 292, fire sprinklers will be required if the occupant load is 100 or above. That was the added change to the condition. Everything else is the same to that condition of approval.
Okay. I'd like to make a motion to adopt Planning Commission Resolution Attachment Number 1, approving conditional use permit modification 25-001, subject to the development plans Exhibit 1A and conditions of approval Exhibit 1B, and those amended conditions that Director Monique just listed off. And 2, direct staff to file a notice of determination with the County of Riverside and the State of California.
I second that motion.
I have a motion by Commissioner Hill, second by Commissioner Veramontes. We'll do a roll call. Commissioner Worth.
Aye.
Commissioner Veramontes.
Yes.
Commissioner Hill.
Aye.
Chair Beamsterfer.
Yes.
That motion passes as amended, 4-0.
Okay. Congratulations, guys. We will move on to
Welcome to the
item
West Side.
8A, City Attorney Reports. City Attorney Leo Suarez.
Thank you, Chair. Yes, I just have a quick update on the many assembly bills. It's that time of year. We have Assembly Bill 712, which was passed by Wix, chaptered October 10th, 2025. The bill would entitle an applicant for a housing development project to reasonable attorney's fees and costs, and would require a court to impose fines on the local agency where the applicant is the prevailing party in an action brought to enforce compliance with the housing reform law as applied to the applicant's housing development project against the public agency. The bill would also prohibit a public agency from requiring the applicant to indemnify, defend, or hold harmless the public agency in an action alleging the public agency violated the applicant's rights or deprived the applicant of the benefits or protection provided by a housing reform law. Yeah.
What do you think about that one?
It's a very interesting one. yeah, it flips, it does a lot for the public agency. To take everything cautiously.
Yeah, if we're not out, if public agencies are not allowed to indemnify, so how is that going to affect, the willingness to enter into any sort of agreement, P3 or any kind of a.
Right, and it's good to look at what the intent is from the source on what is trying to happen with this whole area of housing. So, yeah.
All planning commission meetings in the future will be held in Sacramento throughout the entire state.
For every city. All right, now let's see here. 8B, Community Development Reports. Director Monique.
Nothing to report, thank you.
Okay, and future agenda items. Director Monique.
Future agenda items include the Simpson Elevate Modernization Plan, the Lathan Senior Apartments Extension of Time, the Tres Cerritos West Specific Plan Amendment, number 4, and number 4, Valle de los Tres Cerritos Tentative Track Map, as well as a Public Works Rate Study.
You got some stuff coming up then. All right. And then 8D, Planning Commissioners reports. And before we do that, I think I'm going to have Mr. John over here make an announcement.
Thank you, Chair. Gladly. I just wanted to make a special announcement that if you didn't already know, today is the statewide special election. And if you haven't voted already, please head out to your local voting place. We are accepting ballots here at the public library, and there is no line at the Hemet City Hall up until 8 p.m. today. So we are accepting ballots over there. Shout out to the City Clerk's Department that's receiving those ballots over there. So we just encourage all folks to head over to either City Hall or the Hemet Public Library, where we'll have the doors open until 8 p.m. this evening. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. Go vote, go vote. All right, Planning Commissioners reports.
Okay, Chair Beamsdorfer.
Pardon me, okay. Let's see, Commissioner Worth and I did a little ad hoc. I'm not sure if I made that announcement last time, if you had that cancellation, but Commissioner Worth and I and Ben and did a tour with the ad hoc committee to meet the different FAK grants, and that was fun. We got to meet some of the owners and see what their vision is and brainstorm some ideas. So we're looking forward to what's coming with the new proposals they're going to get back to us. Autumn of Elegance was a few days ago. That was fun, good food. Dr. Coca had a mixer last week at her medical center, and I believe she's going to be starting to take care of VA patients as well. So that's anything to help the VA. Just for full disclosure, I did go on a downtown tour with Mr. Simon Chu, and he just took me around town. And he just wanted an extra set of ears to hear his side of things. State of City's coming up, I believe, on the 8th, is it? With our lovely mayor, and so tickets are still available. I believe Commissioner Wirth is going to that. And last but not least, Ms. City Attorney here. She has a son that is running for mayor at the age of 4 years old. So if you take a picture of her little, what do they call them, QR codes, you can help vote for her kid to become mayor at 4 years old. So make sure you get that on the way out.
Thank you.
Nothing else to report.
And Chair, just wanted to mention that the State of the City is November 6th. Yes, and for those who aren't able to purchase, yes.
2 days.
On Thursday, yes.
Thursday.
For those who aren't able to purchase tickets, the event will be live streamed on YouTube. Thank you. Commissioner Hill?
Yeah, thank you. Monique, I don't know if you know this or not, but I'm looking for more information on the theater special workshop that City Council and the staff has been working on. Any update there?
I have no updates at this time on that particular content of that the Hemet Theater expansion project.
Yes.
I do not have any information from the Planning Commission tonight. I would be happy to follow up at the next Planning Commission meeting with any status that I can do a little research for you.
Thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you. Commissioner Viramontes?
Yes, there is a grand opening ribbon cutting on November 12th for Hemet's first hot tub store. It's right here on Buena Vista. It's probably it's probably a quarter mile away from this location. But yeah, it's going to be on their Instagram, and it's going to be November 12th at noon. So yeah, come attend. Come look at some really cool hot tubs. But that's it.
Thank you. And Commissioner Worth?
Just to build on what Chair Beamsdorfer said in regards to that subcommittee, that I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed spending the time with staff, going through the reports, getting to know the applicants a little bit, and then actually going out to the site. I think that the more we can do that as a commission and be involved is good for us and good for the community. The only other thing, maybe a future update we can get also is, I know Deputy Director Papp presented on status on some development projects, and one of those was the Newland Simpson project. But would like to get an update on where that's at, if at all possible. And that's it. And it was really, really cool to see a line all the way down to like Latham there. No, what's the next street? Devonshire. For people to vote. That's pretty impressive.
We'll still see it on the way out, I'm sure.
For
All
one
right,
item
with there
issue.
being no further business to discuss, the meeting is adjourned to the next Planning Commission meeting scheduled for November 18th, 2025 at 6 p.m.